Hello everyone. My name is Ashish Jagdale. I'm a data analyst at CloudFronts. And in this today's webinar that is Power BI Deep Dive, I have with me my colleague Ankita Anchan, who will be joining with me in this webinar. So let's have a look at the agenda for today's webinar. So the agenda for today's webinar is we'll have a quick look on the role-based security using tabular model, SSAS tabular model. We will have a look how Power BI leverages SSAS tabular model to implement the row-level security with the help of a small demo. And then finally we'll have a look at the Power BI updates. So what all are the updates in the last 1 month in case of desktop as well as online updates. Also note that in the previous webinar we have talked about SSAS tabular model, how to import your data, how to create data model, and how to create calculated columns and measures in your SSAS tabular model. And finally, we have also seen how you can deploy this model to your SSAS database and connect your SS and connect your Power BI file and upload it to the Power BI Online. So in this webinar, we'll be focusing majorly on the role-based security feature of SSAS tabular model. So let's begin by having a look at the demo of this. So here I have a model of SSAS where I have imported few data from my SQL database. As you can see, it contains the opportunity data. So here are the different fields. So in the previous webinar, we have already seen how to import data and how to create columns and measures. So in this webinar, we'll be focusing on how to implement the role-based security. So to start with, so I have many users. So if I want to restrict data in Power BI for a particular user, say for example, I have a field over here as owner name with different owners, as you can see. So I have different owners: Alan Jackson, Alan Matthew, Matthew Pereira, Gail, and so on. So I have different users over here. If I want to restrict data for a particular owner, like Alan wants to view only his data in Power BI, so how we can achieve this with the help of row-level security using SSAS model. So what you can do is you click on roles over here. I'll create a new role for Alan. I'll name this role as Alan Matthew. Right, I'll give the permission to Alan as read. Okay, so the next is I'll select the member. Just select the user as Alan from my Active Directory. Yeah, also note that in the previous webinar, Farooq has talked about how to set up analysis services connector, and he has also talked about Azure AD. Okay, so I'll go to advanced. So I'll find out where is the user. So yeah, so here is the user Alan Matthew. So I'll select this user and I'll click OK. So I have created one role as Alan Matthew with read permission, and now I'll give the DAX filter. So I'll select opportunity final table and apply the DAX filter so that Alan will be able to view his data in Power BI Online. And I'll hit OK. So you can see that we have created a role and applied this role for Alan Matthew. Similarly, you can also work with different features of tabular model. You want to create any measure or calculated columns, so on. So once your model is done in terms of providing roles, you can now deploy this model to your database. So I'll click on deploy. So what it will do is it will deploy your model, whatever changes you have been made to your SSAS database. So right now it's processing. You can also check over here. So I'll click on refresh. All right, so this is the model that is been deployed in my SSAS database demo webinar. Okay, success. So now what we can do is we can now start creating reports out of this in Power BI desktop tool. So I'll minimize this. I have a desktop file. So now we can connect this PBX file with tabular database. I'll go to database, SQL Server Analysis Services database, click connect. I'll specify the name for the server CFCRM 2016 and database name is an optional demo. Oh, so yeah, there are two options, connect live and import data. So as we are dealing with role level security, so we need to connect live to this model so that we are able to see the user-wise role-based access. So once you have been connected, you will find your model. So whatever measures and calculate columns you have defined in your model, it will import those into your PBIX file. So once this is done, you can start creating reports out of this. So for instance, I'll create report as opportunity name by, let's say, by estimated value. I'll create it as a bar chart. I'll expand this. So I'll create one small table so that we're able to see the data. I'll select few fields of maybe account name, then opportunity name, then I'll also select owner so that we're able to see, and finally the estimated value. Alright, I'll increase the font size so that it's visible clearly. Okay, so I've created a basic report out of my SSAS database. So I'll save this file and I'll publish it to Power BI Online and see how this works because we have applied a role for Alan. So I'll give some name as demo test file. Save it on my desktop. You can also directly publish with the help of publish feature. So I'll click on get data files and I'll select that PBX file where I have kept demo test. Right, so it's importing. I'll create a new dashboard for the same. MSI sales dashboard. Okay, I'll pin my report in this sales dashboard. I'll pin this table as well. Alright, so my dashboard is ready. So as you can see, I've logged in with the admin. So what I'll do is I'll share this dashboard with Alan and then we'll check with the Alan credential how this dashboard looks when Alan is logging. So I'll share this dashboard. I'll click on share. So I have a user Alan Matthew. Alright, so I have shared this dashboard. I'll go to Alan account. So I have a notification that a dashboard has been shared and you can see that shared dashboard and the owner is CRM admin. Alright, so what is so special about this dashboard? So as you can see in your tabular model, we have defined a role for Alan. That is, Alan should only see his data. That is, we have applied a DAX filter for this specific user, Alan, so that he is not able to see any other data. So when this dashboard is shared with Alan, I'll refresh. Sometimes it takes time to reflect it on the dashboard. Okay, so we are all set. So now you can see that this is the user Alan and he will only be able to see his data because of the SSAS tabular model we have implemented. So this is how tabular security works. Um you can also try out some more DAX filters and with respect to different roles in your Azure Active Directory environment. If you have any questions, any audience, you have any questions, you can type in the question box. All right, I'll go back to my slide deck. So we have seen a demo on creating SSAS Tabular model and roles to restrict the data. Also, we have seen how you can publish report to Power BI Online. You can find a link at the bottom where you can see from a previous webinar how we have uh, created a basic tabular model, and also how we have set it up the analysis services connector to make it work. All right, so with this, I'll hand over to my colleague Ankita, who will be talking more about Power BI updates in the last 1 month or so. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashish. Hello, everyone. This is Ankita Anchan, and I'll be taking you through few of the Power BI update this month. So we have divided this session in two parts, that is update in Power BI desktop tool and update in Power BI online. So let's start our demonstration with the updates in Power BI desktop. The listed are the few updates I'll be demonstrating. So let's take a look. So start with the desktop tool. This is a Power BI desktop which I have created using the direct query mode. The direct query mode is enabled. So you can see that while connecting we have two options, that is import and direct query mode. So I have connected it using direct query mode. Now before this update we could only visualize or create new visuals in the PBX file in direct query mode, but now we can also create measures in direct query mode and also view the relationship between the tables in the file. So as of now I have only one opportunity table, so I'll create a measure. Note that only measure is being supported in the direct query mode. We cannot still create any calculated columns using direct query mode. So I'll be creating some measure, say total revenue. So I'll be using some opportunity and the amount. So as you can see, I have created the measure with total revenue. So now we can create the measure using direct query mode, but not the calculated columns. So the next feature I'll be talking about is adding border to our visualization. I'll quickly create one visual saying account name and the actual value using bar chart. So this is a visual. So let's take some value. So let me create some visual first to add border to it. So what is the use of this border feature is whenever we create multiple options or multiple visuals in our report, what happens is, so I have created this two visuals. Here we can go to the formatting options. We have a new option here called border. I'll set it on, and as you can see we have color option by default which is black. I can select some other color and I can differentiate between other visuals. I will select border, turn it on, and choose some other color. So now as you can see, we can differentiate between the visuals with proper border. Now the next update I'll be talking about is background preview mode. We cannot, as we know that data is being loaded in the background, we can stop that by disabling the background load image. For that I'll go to the file menu, options and settings, and in options we have a new, in data load tab we can see that background data. If I put it on, it will automatically load the data in my background whenever I select a new, add a new table to my file. So this, if the user knows what data actually he is using, I can disable this so that the processing speed and the performance is better. So let's talk about the next feature. So now as you can see, we have an option to add images to the background. Before, in the last webinar, we have seen how to add color to the background, but now we can add images as well. So if we want some logo to be there is the background of the image, I can select this image, and we have different option to fit it as well as normal, fit, and also fill option. And we can change the transparency according to our need so that the visuals are not affected due to this background. So small updates but can give a good effect to your visuals report. Let's move on to the online part. So in online, I'll be demonstrating the listed updates. So let's move on to the online. So this is my account. Now we can pin a custom visual to our dashboard. Yes. Now, as we know, we have to create a custom visual which cannot be pinned to our dashboard, but now we have the option to pin to the dashboard. So I'll create a new dashboard saying Feb webinar, and I'll pin this dial gauge custom visual. So I have created a new dashboard, and as you can see, we have pinned a custom visual to a dashboard. So this is a good feature that most of us were waiting for. Now next I'll be talking about is to publish web option. A very huge update that has come this month in Power BI is now we can publish our report to our web page. For that, I'll select any one of my web page. I will select the Excel demo web page. I'll go to the file menu. As you can see, we have a new option that is publish to web. When I click on this, I'll get an embedded code for this. As I have already created, I'll select a new report, publish to web. So now it will ask me to create an embed code. When I click on it, it will give me some instruction for before publishing, and when I click to publish, it will automatically give me the code and the link. The link state here can be shared with your colleagues or friends or clients via email or any social media, and using this link your fellow person can view the report on his browser. On the other hand, Power BI also provide us with the iframe tag in which the source is the same link generated. So what the use of this iframe tag is, if we have a web page created, so we can put this iframe tag into our HTML page and view the dashboard in our web page itself. So we have different size options available here. So for this demo, I have created one sample web page uh, in which on this click event for this button, when I click, you can see that the report gets automatically viewed in my web page itself. So I need not log into any Power BI account. If my client or colleague do not have his own Power BI account, he need not create a new one, but without the account I can share my report with it. This report is interactive, like it will get filtered on the basis of the selection I do. Even I can view each tile in focus mode. So, and I will also show you where I have used this iframe tag. So this is an HTML page for my web page, and I have pasted the iframe tag from the Power BI publish to web option over here. So this is what makes you publish your Power BI report into your web page. So very huge update that Power BI has come with. So if I want to view that created link again, so I can go to the manage embed code option. Here I'll get all the listed embedded code for different reports. Now if I want to see it, I'll click to get code and I'll get the link and the iframe tag again. So this is what can be done using Power BI publish to web option. Now another good update this month is publish Excel publisher. For this, before you first you have to download the Power BI Excel publisher, and then you will get this Power BI tab in your Excel book. Now I can select a selected range of data and pin directly to my dashboard. For this, I am logged in with my account, Power BI online account, and when I click to pin, it will again ask me whether I want an existing dashboard or a new dashboard. So now only I have created this new dashboard webinar. I'll pin it to that itself. So before only Power View data can be pinned to our dashboard, but now we can directly pin the data as well as the pivot chart into my dashboard. So I have also created a pivot chart. So I'll select the pivot chart and again click to pin. So I'll pin it to the same dashboard. So it is successful. Now let's take a look to our dashboard. So as you can see, I have the data as well as the pivot chart pinned to my dashboard. Now what if I make any changes into my Excel sheet data? Will it be reflected? Yes. Now for example, the first record from Washington, I'll make it to New York. So I have changed and from east to west. So let's see how we can get this update done into our dashboard. So I'll go to pin manager. So here I have the different ranges that I have pinned to my dashboard. I'll select the range where I have made changes and click on update. So as we can see, there's a tick that means the file has been updated. So let's go to the dashboard and see whether the changes has been reflected or not. Yes, as you can see, the first state was Washington, which has been changed to New York West. So this is a real-time effect where you make changes in your Excel sheet, get updated in your dashboard records too. So that's all from my side. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Ankita. If any audience have any question, you can ask or you can type in the question box. So I have unmuted all the attendees. If you have any questions, you can ask or You can also check our webinars on YouTube channels, or if you have any queries, you can drop us at info@cloudfronts.com. All right, so thank you so much for attending the webinar. Have a good day. Have a